Hello and welcome. My name is Dwayne Johnson. I'm an executive with our company 5 Links Enterprises. I'm going to take you through a short but detailed overview of exactly how the 5 Links opportunity works. By the end of my presentation, you should be in a position to make an educated business decision whether you feel 5 Links is a financial vehicle for you or not. Before we get started with the presentation, please minimize on as many distractions as possible, but if you see fit and you are distracted, feel free to hit the pause button that's located at the lower left corner of the player. Also, feel free to take as many notes as possible and be sure to get your questions answered by the person that invited you to take a look at this short overview. Let's get started with the presentation. There's really a lot of reasons why people take a look at a company like 5 Links or to get involved in the industry of direct sales, and here's just a few. Spend more time with family, diversify your income, simply pay off debt, children's college fund, give more to charity, or just create financial freedom. Just an FYI, I personally had hesitations and reservations when taking a look at direct sales for the first time, and we actually compared it and see how it went up against industries like the real estate and mortgage industry, the insurance industry, the sports arena, as well as entertainment. And come to find out, direct sales single-handedly has produced more self-made millionaires than all those other industries combined. A little about the company. The 5 Links principles: vision, integrity, opportunity, freedom, and success. The company 5 Links was founded in 2001. The co-founders have over 50 years experience in communication as well as in direct sales combined. Over the last 4 years, experienced over 800% growth, which I truly feel speaks towards the industries that we're involved in, because here we are in a recessionary period and still having tremendous growth. We actually moved into a 50,000 square foot world headquarters, which we own outright up here in Rochester, New York. The company puts its representatives first. This is actually the co-founders of the company. This is Craig Jerabek, President and CEO, Jeb Tyler, Executive Vice President of Marketing, as well as Jason Guck, Executive Vice President of Sales. Let's talk about some third-party credibility. With all the growth that I just showed you on the previous slide, 5 Links could not help but to be recognized in numerous credible publications, from the Success from Home magazine to the Your Business at Home magazine twice, as well as the Rochester Top 100 Companies from 2006 all the way through 2010. The one that I would like to highlight here is the Inc. 500. The Inc. 500 produces and ranks the top 500 fastest growing privately held companies in the entire country. Well, here it is. 5 Links not only hit this publication once in 2006, but we hit it in 2006 all the way through 2009, 4 years in a row. I'm just going to give you a quick snapshot of what I'm going to cover. Step number 1 is going to talk about the opportunity, timing, and positioning. Step 2 is going to talk to you about the 5 Links compensation plan and how the company would be willing to pay you. And then in box number 3 is going to talk about business ownership, if this seems like something that you could definitely take advantage of. So box number 1, the opportunity, timing, and positioning are truly the keys to success. I personally grew up thinking that in order to become successful, you needed to have either multiple degrees, know people in high places, or have a lot of work and or job experience. Well, come to find out, that truly has nothing to do with you acquiring wealth. Robert Kiyosaki said it best in his bestseller, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, that the A students typically end up working for the C students. So if you're not smart enough, you can always go hire the smart ones to run the companies for you. In order for you to achieve true financial freedom, it's all about being able to predict the next major trend. If you can predict what consumers are going to be buying 3 to 5 years before they start buying, and you get in position first, this is how people truly acquire wealth. I'm going to run you through a timeline here that is truly not even up for debate. I'm just going to give you a few examples of some of the trends that most people just kind of let slip through their fingers. And the individuals that took full advantage of these past trends, when most of us were just consumers, they got on the paying end, and money is no longer an issue for themselves or for their families. In the 1980s, this was the PC industry, PC being short for personal computer. Ask yourself this question: what did most people use before the personal computer became popular to type up documents? If you said it, you're absolutely correct. It's the typewriter. Well, while most people were using typewriters, the companies that were smart enough to predict the future, they got in position as companies like IBM, Gateway, Dell, Hewlett-Packard, Apple, So as they got in position, once the consumers realized that using personal computers were way more handy than using typewriters, and they started buying up all these computers, those companies that got in position became billion-dollar players. Second example is said mid-1980s. This was the breakup, or the correct term, the deregulation of long distance. For the people old enough watching this presentation, you remember back in the day that if you wanted to make a long distance phone call, you never really had a choice. It was only one company. It was AT&T. Well, AT&T started to overcharge the consumers. The government stepped in, signed a bill, broke them up, and the first two in the door to compete was MCI and Sprint, billion-dollar companies. Third example, it says cellular in the 1990s. Cellular and internet. I'll cover cellular first. Some of you guys are laughing just looking at this big brick phone, because when cellular first came out, this was it. You know, it cost about $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 and stored about 20 phone numbers, and people were excited. Well, the masses couldn't afford a $1,000 or $2,000 phone. So what did most people use to stay in touch with friends and family members back in the day while on the run? Pagers. Well, if a friend had paged you and you couldn't afford a brick phone, you would typically stop on the side of the street and call them back from a paid phone. Well, ask yourself this question. When's the last time you used a paid phone? It's a funny conversation today. Well, while we're laughing, the companies that got in position are cashing checks. Companies like Verizon Wireless, T-Mobile, Sprint PCS, AT&T Wireless. These are the major billion-dollar players today. The internet. Last example I use before I move on. 20 years ago, ask yourself, were you logged onto the internet? And if you were, it was probably dial-up internet. Well, guys like Bill Gates predicted this trend before the masses did, got in position. Today now makes over $583 every second of every day. He truly got wealthy because he understood timing and positioning. Well, here we are right now in the 2000s, and what's dominating is VoIP and video telephone. VoIP is short for Voice over Internet Protocol. I'll explain that a little bit more in the next slide. But in 2011, for the first time in history, the local monopolies are breaking up when it comes to energy and natural gas. We are just elated to announce the launch of 5 Links Energy February 1st, 2011. It simply brings about choices for consumers. It's 10 times the size of the telecommunications industry. The energy monopolies are being broken up for the first time in history, which simply means natural gas and electricity. Most states today are still finding themselves preparing for this massive breakup. All the analysts can say to us is that they cannot put a number on the size of this deregulation, but they do know that it's the greatest redistribution of wealth in the history of mankind, because everybody truly needs electricity as well as natural gas to run their day-to-day lives, and you could position you and your family to truly get paid on it and make up for a lot of lost time. Let's talk a little bit more about the opportunity that VoIP provides us here at 5 Links. VoIP is short for Voice over Internet Protocol, and to simplify the concept of VoIP, old school phone service used to come into your house from the phone poles outside. They used to run a line under the ground to a side of a little box on the side of your house called a DMARC box, and that's how people used to get home phone service. It was very costly. Well, now VoIP allows for us to run the phone call through the internet versus those old traditional phone lines, and we called our VoIP company GlobalLinks. GlobalLinks cuts the cost of phone service by 50% or more. Over 44 million U.S. households will make the transition from traditional landline phone service over to a VoIP company by the end of 2013. We have an exclusive GlobalLinks video telephone, which I'll demonstrate here in just a second. We market to residential as well as commercial consumers. We also have an application through Wi-Fi enabled devices as well as mobile devices. And we have a multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art network. The co-founder, Jason Guck, is sitting in our NOC Center. That's short for Network Operations Center. Really quick, I'd love to explain to you and show you some of the features of our GlobalLinks telephone. Just to name off a few features of this device, it's truly a plug-and-play broadband IP video telephone with a 7-inch high-resolution LCD monitor, touchscreen capability, has a built-in high-quality camera, wireless and Wi-Fi is enabled. It has a visual ringer with strobe lighting, has a lithium battery. It can also be used as a photo frame and browsing the internet to check email. You can go to eBay, you can check out Google or however. Also has a docking station that comes with a remote control, and the docking station can also use a regular phone cord to connect all the other phones in your house right from this video telephone, as well as you can do three-way conferencing. So truly this device is going to be the game changer, and I'm telling everybody this. Once consumers get accustomed to having conversation with family members and it's visual, going back to a regular audio call is going to be something very annoying. And if that's hard for you to believe, back in the day, people used to listen to sports on the radio. Well, if you try to get somebody to listen to the Super Bowl today, it'll be very frustrating because we're already accustomed to seeing the game versus just hearing the game. I'd also like to give you a rundown on Wi-Fi and mobile accessibility. Please write this word down. This is going to be one of the biggest words of the next decade. It's called WiMAX, W-I-M-A-X. When you turn your cell phone on today, the very first thing that your cell phone searches for is a cell signal. And the cell signal normally comes from a cell phone tower. Well, cell phone towers are going to become obsolete. And all that simply means is that it's going to be replaced by WiMAX towers. Most consumers today, they ride around town looking for hotspots. If you have a wireless router in your house, well, your house is considered a hotspot. And that's where you do a lot of your internet browsing in the comfort of your home. But if you leave the house, you normally try to find a place like Starbucks, Panera Bread, the bread company. These are all considered hotspots or networking spots because that's where people go to get on the internet. Well, once a WiMAX tower goes up in your city, and notice I said when, I did not say if. This conversation is not up for debate. It's truly a positioning period right now as we speak. Once the WiMAX tower goes up in your city, it's going to give off a wireless internet signal. And no longer you're going to have to be searching for little hotspots because you could literally be in the car and pick up the internet access because it's going to be citywide. Now that you have a better understanding of VoIP and how it works, let's move on to conclude box number 1. Wrapping up part number 1 with additional 5links products and services, I had a chance to show you our flagship products being Global Links as well as 5links Energy. Well, 5links also allows for us to market additional products and services through some of the biggest companies in the telecommunications arena. From 5links Mobile to 5links Home Security, high-speed internet, satellite television, 5links ID Guard, as well as Business Elite Services. Just to give you one example on 5links Mobile, as you can see in this example, in most cases, devices like this that would normally cost the end consumer hundreds of dollars, we can offer it for a fraction of the cost or in most cases for free. Ship it directly to their doorstep, activated, ready to use, and every single month that they pay that bill to that provider, we would send you a check month after month, year after year. So as you can see, 5links truly puts us in the driver's seat to offer consumers a savings on essential products and services, and because you made the one-time referral versus paying for expensive advertisement, we will just simply pay you not just once, but pay you month after month, year after year for the life of that customer. And to break down exactly how 5links will pay you in the compensation plan, let's move over into box number 2. Part number 2, the compensation. 5links pays a monthly residual income. People typically make money two ways in the world: linear income versus residual income. Linear pay is how we're all accustomed to generating income. This is where you exchange hours for dollars and time for money. You show up to work, you clock in, the money starts, you clock out, the money stops. In my opinion, just not a very smart way to generate income, especially for you and your family, because your time typically runs out before you ever get rich and or financially set. On the other hand, you have residual income. This is where you do the work one time. Long after the work's been completed, the income keeps coming in. I'll use an example that's near and dear to almost everybody. Look at the way that you pay your bills. Your light company signed you up one time for service. Your insurance company signed you up once. Your cell phone company signed you up once. But for the life of you using those services, whether you're laid off, whether you're employed, whether anything happens to you, you still have to find a way to pay these companies month after month, year after year. And so this is how these major companies became billion-dollar players. Well, 5links gives us an opportunity to make money the exact same way. I'll just use an example, just looking at the Global Links products and services, not the additional products and services. So 5links pays a $4 commission value on all $24.95 Global Links customers. How much you receive is based on your earned position. And I'll talk about the earned positions here in just a second. Let's just focus on you. You can go out and get as many customers as you want, but listen to me clear. It's not about you in this wealth equation. You can try to sign up 1,000 customers and try to work this thing like a job, but most people's issue is they're the only cheerleader on their financial squad. My conversations years ago used to sound like this: I don't need any help. I'll work from sun up to sundown. I'll outwork anybody in my department. And I always wanted to be that poster child because my conversations and my mindset was I needed to feed my family. When you start to think of the wealthy and the way that they get paid, they simply build networks and systems. Robert Kiyosaki said it best in his book, again, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. He said that rich and wealthy people, they build networks and systems, and broke people typically go look for work. So you can show this concept to 3 people. Let's say they like it and they join you in business. These 3 people now go out and sign up customers. Well, as these customers go out and pay their bills, you make a small percentage month after month, year after year. And now it duplicates down. You started something that you can't stop because those 3 want to build a team, turns into 3. Now that's 9. 9 go out and get customers. You get a small percentage of that as well. So now you have tens, hundreds, thousands of people that's contributing to your income just by simply going out paying a bill. Now, when I saw this concept for the very first time, the first thing that came to my mind was, well, that looks like one of those pyramids that my friends told me to stay away from. I'll just take about 10 seconds and clarify really quick. For example, the corporate pyramid. There's normally the owners, then there's the CEOs, shareholders, and the upper management. Then you normally have more middle management, and then you have more lower management and some team leaders and supervisors. And then you pretty much have most of the general laborers down at the bottom, broke, busted, and disgusted. Now, you need to ask yourself, where are you in your corporate pyramid? Because keep in mind this, while you're at work teed off, your boss is on the golf course teeing off. So I'm not saying that you have to create your own pyramid, but if it's okay to be caught up in somebody else's and find yourself struggling trying to get by, if that's fine with you, that's absolutely fine with me. But if you're ever thinking about creating true financial freedom for yourself and for your family, you should probably start to consider creating your own. And at the end of the day, when you turn over a dollar bill, on the back of the US dollar bill is the shape of a pyramid. It's so powerful that they put it on the back of the money. So now I want to give you guys a theoretical example. Let's just say that we start working together and we help you to build a team of 20. I'm not saying that you go out and get 20 people. You just got a handful, like 3, for example, and as it starts to duplicate out, you end up with 20 on your team. We teach all 20 people how to go out and get 20 customers each. Now, it says 5 links will pay you up to $4, but let's downplay that to 50 cents. That'll be $200 a month in residual income for you and your family. Not a lot of money, but last year in America, an extra $300 a month would have prevented 58% of the bankruptcies filed. Now let's start to play with these numbers. Let's say your organization grew to 20, so it could probably grow to 200. So let's add a 0 here. You see what happens over here? Now that's $2,000 a month in residual income for you and your family. Now, I want you to keep in mind, the reason why I use 50 cents in this example, I didn't want you to accuse me of exaggerating, but I shared with you that 5 links would pay you up to $4. So if this 50 cents was $1, that's $4,000, $2, $8,000, $3, $12,000, $4. That's $16,000 a month in residual income for you and your family. And this is just based on the products and the services as consumers pay their bills once a month. On the previous slide, I showed you how 5 links would pay you once a month as consumers paid their bills. Well, 5 links also pays you on a weekly basis. It's called weekly leadership bonuses. The first corporately earned position is called executive trainer, short ET, and you can get promoted all the way through the ranks to one of the highest positions called platinum senior vice president, for short is called PSVP. You can earn anywhere from $85 per qualified distributor all the way up to $175. I'll just give you one quick example. Let's just say that you happen to be a national director and you're building this business on a very part-time basis. Well, if your team, let's say, does 20 business partners for the month, you would get 20 times $55 plus some additional bonus monies that can truly equate to a couple $1,000s on a very part-time basis. And keep in mind, this has nothing to do with the residuals I showed you on the previous slide. Once you achieve the esteemed position of Senior Vice President, 5links gets you some benefits. Stock options with the company. 5links also allows you to go to bmwusa.com, customize the BMW the way that you want it, and the company picks up to an $800 a month BMW car note. They also give you a Global Links bonus, which just simply means it's a customer bonus. So as you and your team gather Global Links customers, there's some additional income in it for you. They send you on an annual all-expense paid vacation for 2, as well as give you a monthly expense account at the Senior Vice President level. The next position up would be that of Platinum Senior Vice President. This is the benefits package at this position. The company allows you to go to BentleyMotors.com, customize the Bentley the way that you want it, and they pick up a $4,000 a month Bentley car note. They also give you access to the Platinum Bonus Pool, which could truly mean a 6-figure check at least once a year based on the overall production of the company. They also get you some additional stock options and some beautiful jewelry. For the guys, you get a nice ring, and for the ladies, you get a beautiful diamond-studded pendant. In conclusion, wrapping up the presentation in part number 3, business ownership, 5links gives you one of 2 positions to start at. At the customer representative level, there's a $99 investment. You get a chance to market all the 5links products and services, the personal website, future products and services, energy and select markets, but there's no immediate income at the customer representative position. And let me also make clear that if you start at customer representative, you do not make overrides on the organization that you build. At the independent marketing representative, short IMR, it's a $249 investment. You get all the bells and whistles, but more importantly, you can triple your initial investment within your first 30 days in the business and make customer acquisition bonuses as well as open line bonuses. Quick start your business. As I made mention in the previous slide, 5links allows for you to triple your initial investment by doing 3 simple steps. Step number 1, acquire 20 customer points. Step number 2 is to find 2 people that will join you in business. And step number 3 is to simply do step 1 and 2 within your first 30 days. Step number 1 would qualify you for $500. Step number 2 will qualify you for $250. And for getting it done, step number 3 pays you out the $750. In conclusion, for box number 3, training and support is very important. We offer training and support, 5links University, which simply gives you access to all the top money earners, video libraries in the virtual office through 5links University. You get access to a personal website, business reporting to track your business, local, regional, and national training events. The picture shown above is us in Las Vegas, Nevada with over 5,000 people at our national training event. And down below just simply shows you some more training and materials. And over here kind of shows you just a little snapshot of the 5links University. Last but certainly not least, if this information made any sense to you, I would definitely encourage for you to fill out an IMR application today. On the application, right here is where you would put all of your personal information. Keep in mind that you're starting a business and there's tremendous tax savings and incentives. You choose a starting position, CR IMR, my professional, as well as my personal opinion would definitely be to get started as an IMR and take full advantage of the quick start bonus. Platinum Services simply gives you access to your website, your back office, your reporting, and it gives you 3 points right out of the gate, 3 of your 20. So I'll definitely advise for you to sign up for Platinum Services when getting started. Payment information, 5links accepts credit cards, debit cards, as well as personal checks. You sign and date and you're off and running. And I want to be the first to welcome you to getting started with your own 5links business. At this point in the presentation, we typically have 3 types of people, so I just want for you to choose your interest level. Person number 1, you're not interested. This is not your cup of tea. I want to thank you for at least listening in, getting a little bit more information on the 5links opportunity, but if this is not for you, at least respect the person that thought enough about you to get you on this website and try one or more of their services and or refer them to somebody that 5links can be a perfect fit for. If you're person number 2 and you're interested, you just kind of have some questions, definitely get back with the person who invited you out and be sure to get all your questions answered before trying to ask somebody about 5 links that's really not qualified to answer any questions, because that's the number one reason why most people don't succeed in life, is they take the advice from the wrong people. If you're trying to get rich, it does not make sense to get financial advice from somebody that is not in the position that you desire to be in. And last but certainly not least, number 3, you're just like myself. I was so excited. My knees were shaking, heart was racing, and palms were sweaty because I was just sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I needed change in my life, and change needed to come like yesterday. If that's you, get started. Fill out an IMR application. You could do it online and get started immediately, or you can fill out a paper application which can also be faxed in. But whatever you do, just understand this. Every human being lives by one of 2 pains. It's the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. Keep in mind that a job was never designed to get you wealthy. I see a lot of people make some of the biggest mistakes of their life by thinking that a job really needs them. Well, I have news for you. A job will hang on to you and use you for as long as they can use you and get as much youth and hard work out of you until they can find somebody to replace you for half the cost. And to add insult to injury, I've seen in over 100 cases for them to have you train the person that's going to take your position. So don't end up another statistic. I want to thank you again for listening in to this short overview. Hopefully this information made sense to you and I'll get a chance to see you at our next up and coming event.